You never know, Pisces, you could get a positive reading. We've just had a sort of positive one after 11 signs. So hopefully it won't be about divorce or separation, this one. Let's see. I mean, if it is, it is. That's what's, you know, going on with Pisces at the moment, clearly, if it does come out. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Pisces' highest good. How is Pisces feeling in the second week of August 2025 with regards to when they're thinking about or dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for how Pisces is feeling, please. The Ace of Cups, hurrah! The only appearance we've had from the Ace of Cups tonight. Out of 12 zodiac signs, you're the only one. Now that can be self-love, or it can be I'm in love with someone. Ew, let's have a look, see what comes out. 2 more cards for Pisces. How is Pisces feeling? Four of Pentacles reversed. So the 4 of Pentacles upright is the miser. It's a card of someone who is conserving wealth, conserving time, money and energy. They're being miserly with it, so they're not really sharing. They're not really spending. This is spending. So you could be proper like whining and dining someone at the moment, or fixing yourself up, or like getting the car cleaned more regularly, buying new clothes, you know, like getting your hair done, all these things that people do when they're like courting. Oh, I hate the word courting. Dating, you know, like ready to love again, trying to impress. Gotta speculate to accumulate, right? A little bit of investment never hurt anyone. 7 of Wands reversed. What is this vibe? Okay, so this is like feeling like we're not competitive against others. We've lost the advantage. We don't have the high ground. We don't have the advantage. We don't compare to like other people. We're at a loss somehow. Hi, Morning Star. Okay, so the one that's showing up for you, Pisces, is the Ace of Pentacles reversed and the Sun reversed. Oh, what is going on here? Someone's burdened and it's to do with money, some sort of like loss of a large amount of money or demotion, loss of opportunities when it comes to borrowing money, loaning money. Well, not loaning, but being loaned money. Loss of a job or something like this. They're down in the dumps because of either losing their job or like, you know, losing a lot of money, having to spend a lot of money, a large amount of money, guys. Oh, that's good. If you made a wish for Lionsgate, Morning Star, you need to make a wish if you haven't already. It's the Lionsgate portal. It's the 8th for the 8th, so you need to ask the universe out loud for something big that you've been working towards that you just need a little helping hand with. The Fool card reverse. Why is this so bad? Negative readings tonight. I think someone's being affected by the lack of an opportunity or the loss of money financially. Like, it's making them not want to take a leap of faith or forcing them to be reckless. Let's see that they're very unhappy, this person. They're burdened, okay? They could have lost their job or something. Had to take less hours, a reduction in pay, I don't know. It looks like you've got a lot of money going out as well, or you're spending money by choice, I don't know. The Eight of Swords is in the challenge position, so is there a way out? Oh, sorry, that's them. That's them. They've got mental imprisonment. Is there a way out? King of Cups reversed. Well, the King of Cups upright is someone who's very emotionally intelligent. It's Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. It's being patient, being understanding, forgiving, caring. Very level with emotions. Like this is reversed though, so it could be like over emotional or under emotional responses to things. I mean, they're coming up as worried, mental entrapment. You're not, so it's them, isn't it? They're King of Cups reversed. They're a king. Three Wands reversed. No action being taken towards something that we want. Justice reversed. Something's unfair. I strongly feel like this person's like lost their job, you know, unexpectedly. They're really like worried, really distressed, and it feels unfair. Maybe that's why you're having to pay more money, you know, like maybe having to pay the full rent at the moment. Like, I offered to do that, so my, we're exes now, but at the time, he'd always been great to me, and I'd always, you know, felt like I want to help him if he has a nightmare job, and he got a nightmare job. So I was like, do you know what, giving you notice, I'll pay the rent for a few months, we can afford to do that. I want to do this for you, because, you know, if I felt like that, I'd want someone to do that for me. And that's what being a team is. You know, if you really trust someone, you can't just offer that for anyone. But like, he was always good for money. Like, I was always good for money. So he had that like trust in place already, and he almost did it. And then his parents told him not to. And he just got more and more stressed over time. He lost weight. He lost his libido. Oh, it's horrific. It was so bad. That's part of the reason why I ended it, because I thought, like, you're not taking action on something that needs action taken on it. Do you know what I mean? And we're in a position where we can do it. It's like your ego won't let you do it. I think that's what's going on here. I don't need them anymore. I've got all the cards, haven't I? I've got all the cards. They could be a Leo. They didn't have to be, because the Sun card's there. They could be a Libra. They didn't have to be, because the Justice card is there. It doesn't necessarily mean that. Let's clarify. Where's the deck that I'm looking for? It's over here. Complicated, lots of twists and turns, knotty situation, precarious. Unlock the gate, explore the unknown, and walk new paths together. Well, that's very positive. Taming anger. Don't roar in arguments, respect can heal wounds. Yeah, like, it's very difficult when someone's traditional. They can't stand the thought that, not even traditional, but they just, like, can't believe that this thing has happened that they don't deserve. And so, yeah, they'll be damned if, like, anyone's going to take care of them in this kind of, like, it's like a very egoistic kind of person, egotistical person. They care a lot. They could be Leo, you know, because a Leo cares a lot about what people think and their status, and they're a fixed sign, so they can't deal with change that well. They're very, very proud. They don't have to be, though. I don't think anyone would be happy about losing their job unexpectedly. A lot of people wouldn't be nice about it. They'd just be like, well, you better stay in it. Get on with it. What are you complaining about? You know, or like, well, I'm not paying for you. If you don't find something else, that's all done with. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people be horrible about it. So I thought he was going to take it really, like, well. But it's like he couldn't let himself do it. And then he asked other people and they were like, no. Kick to the curb. I wonder if they're worried about getting kicked to the curb, or they feel like they've been kicked to the curb by, you know, by work, by life. Something's not worked out for them at all, and they just don't deserve it. How did we go from everything to nothing? I'll tell you how, because it's happened to me. It's when people, they let their ego get the best of them. They don't accept help. They don't like themselves for receiving help. They constantly ask other people what they should do. It never ends well. People get frustrated with that mentality, that stubbornness. It's not good, guys. When your partners, and I wouldn't offer that for anyone, don't ever pay someone's rent for several months expecting them to just get a job straight away. But if someone's always paid up, they've always paid half, you know, at times they're generous towards you and at times you're generous towards them. If you have that financial relationship with each other, obviously you can do that. I wouldn't do it for anyone. But some people just, they can't accept, like, they won't allow themselves to do it. And then that builds up frustration, resentment. You know, so yes, you go from everything to nothing, because especially if you're not sleeping with each other anymore, because you're depressed, because you feel emasculated, because you feel like someone won't let you help them, you know, as a female or a male, your partner won't let you help them. Well, they won't stand up and take charge of their own life. It's frustrating as you start becoming emotionally distant, physically distant. It's not good. It deteriorates over months, doesn't it? The only reason that person is not accepting your offer is because of ego. It's not because it's not a sensible thing to do or a kind offer or a helpful offer. It's because of ego. Can't pick this card up, hang on. We'll slide instead. It starts to raise questions in your mind as well. It's like, well, if I'm not allowed to do that for you, is that because you don't think you should have to do that for me and you wouldn't offer to do that for me if it was the other way around? Do you know what I mean? So then that could, like, build, like, a gap between, like, force a wedge between you, drive a wedge between you, whatever you want to say. Because you start thinking, well, if I needed you to do that for me, you wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? So it starts getting like, opens up a can of worms, doesn't it? Distance, the separation you're experiencing is necessary to help the relationship grow. Oh, there could be time apart ahead. You could have recently separated. Or, some sort of temporary, like, emotional or physical distance. How did we go from being everything to nothing? Oh, that's like, pulling on my heartstrings, because that's literally what happened to me. It's been 5 years, but it feels like yesterday. If you haven't been in contact, let's get a message from them. Oh, missing you. I miss you. I wish things were different. Oh, that's just... damn. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Oh, that's cathartic. And I'm not a Pisces, and he is not. But that's cathartic for me. Like, when I do readings for other people and other sides, like, because it's dealing with similar experiences, it heals me as well when the advice comes out. I don't just do this to help other people, help myself. Right. If there's going to be a reunion, because it strongly looks like there's mutual love here, it's gone wrong because of the stress and strain of, like, wider picture vibes, like financial things that people argue about are finances, things that make people feel like a love connection can't survive and thrive. It's finances, isn't it? So let's, particularly with younger people, I think, let's, because you don't know your own capabilities. You're like, well, I don't know if I can, like, hold the two of us down. Like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot to ask of someone when you're younger. Oh shit, reconciliation around June next year. Okay. So it could feel like it's permanent, guys, but it's not. This time's necessary for you both to do some growth, some personal growth, some evolving. Someone's going to reflect and they're going to think, I was an ass, I was a dick to not accept that. That was really kind. That's more than anyone's been able to do for me. Someone's going to reflect and go, I just thought I would meet someone else like him or her, and I never did. You know what I mean? There's going to be personal growth on both sides. Oh, that's actually, I know it's like sad, but it's like actually romantic as hell at the same time. We're all just human, and we all just do what we can with the information we have at the time. Do you know what I mean? It's possible to regret your decisions. It's completely possible. Let's get you some sacred geometry. Okay, root chakra, change, discernment and empowerment. The frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on this physical plane, both in our bodies as well as in the physical world. Okay, so the root chakra is all about safety, security. If you don't feel safe, and in 2025, in a civilized world, what makes you feel safe and secure is financial security. Okay, unless you're in a war zone, unless you are, God forbid, in a war zone, or God forbid, in a violent domestic situation or something. What makes people feel safe and secure mentally, emotionally, and practicably is it's not worrying as a caveman about saber-toothed tigers being a threat. Everything's like financial now, isn't it? So we want to know we've got a secure job. We want to know we can one day acquire a house. We want to know we've got enough to rent together. We want to know, that we're saving up for, the future. We can afford to have kids, whatever, do you know what I mean? When the root chakra, because that's the first chakra, and it influences the ones that come after that, okay? So we can't be assertive, or sorry, it's a sacral chakra next, isn't it? We can't be sexual and turned on if we feel like we've just lost our jobs and we feel like shit about ourselves, and our self-esteem is like plummeted, and we feel vulnerable and we don't feel safe, and we're totally preoccupied about, like how we view ourselves, how other people view us. This has to be sorted out, and it's like, how on earth can I perform tonight, or how on earth can I relax tonight when I've got all these problems? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, most people will crumble under that, especially men, because ego is very much tied to status. Discernment. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. I need to read that again. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and compassion. Yeah, so for example, the way that a wedge gets driven between two people, that actually takes a lot of love and trust and kindness and investment and good intention to offer something like, I will, let you give you notice in and work, my job, and pay our joint bills and rent or mortgage by myself for a few months so you don't have to be with that monster anymore. Okay, do not worry about it. I trust you, you trust me, and all the rest of it. If they won't let you be there for them, that pisses you off and breeds resentment. And then you think, well, would you not do that for me if it was the other way around? And they say no. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's very difficult to not react to how the other person responds. You know what I mean? Like, you want a response, not a reaction. And it's like, it just becomes really like a back and forth. It gets worse and worse. So we need to try to like understand how they're feeling and why they're feeling, and try to like go, okay, what shall we do then? And try to work together. Change. The frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. Everything is changing all the time. The global, situation of environment, the climate, the banks, the stock exchange, the stock market, politicians, governments, royalty, war, conflict, competition, threat. Everything's fucking changing all the time. And you cannot control that. You can control your response to it. You can build a strategy together so that you can remain a team, that is constantly responding to changing circumstances, okay, that are bigger than you. And if you can't do that, if you trigger each other, it will drive a wedge, but, it's the ego of the person that won't accept the no, that thinks, oh, right, you wouldn't do that for me then, or, oh, right, you wouldn't let me help you then. Oh, I'll find someone else like you that, that's prepared to work as a team, and then they can't never find someone like them ever again. It's ego on both sides, isn't it? I must admit that I increased that person's stress levels because I was pissed off with them that they wouldn't leave that job. I was pissed off with them that they wouldn't let me help them. I was watching their health deteriorate. They were staying in that job, they're probably in it now, you know what I mean? And it just I made it worse, really. But it is what it is, sometimes you learn afterwards. Empowerment. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep. I thought it said the deep thrust. It's the deep trust. Oh, God, let's start again. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we are all connected through the same source. That's quite nice. That's quite comforting, actually, because you can feel so distant to someone and so remote from them, even in the same household, can't you? If that energy has changed, if you've fallen out, if you're breaking up, you could be in the same flat or apartment or house, and you could be a million miles from each other. Like, it's just all the aura. And then if you've just fallen out and then you make up, it's like all rosy again. Well, you never want to feel like that ever again, do you? Like, it's just so awful, that energy shift. But it's like the physical circumstances, the physical distance never changed. It was the emotional distance. So we need to remember that we're all part of the same universe. We're all interconnected. We all share the same energy. And yeah, it's quite comforting in a way. Pisces, they miss you. They wish things were different. They don't know how you went from being such a team to so far apart. They obviously never meant it to be like that, okay? They wish it wasn't like that. We're looking at a reconciliation around June next year because there's a lot of growth and ascension happening. Sometimes, we grow after something's finished and over with. We grow during reflection, or we think, well, I found someone like you, I'll find someone like you again, and then you don't, and then you're like, shit. And the pain grows more with time. The realization sinks in more with time. And you think, fuck, I'm never gonna find someone like that again. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't. So stranger things have happened than people coming back together, even after very, very, years. You see people getting remarried after 10 years apart, 20 years apart, come on, anything's possible. There is a better option. I don't know, that's too cryptic in a situation. Yeah, it says distance. The separation you're experiencing is necessary to help the relationship grow. The relationship couldn't have got stronger how you both were at the time. You were the people that you were, do you know what I mean, as individuals together. You've parted and there's been considerable time, more than likely, that you've been apart. You both grown and had a real chance to think about it, had a real chance to try looking for the people that are of high value, and you haven't managed it, neither of you have. And it's food for fucking thought. Sorry for all the swears, but you know. Right, it is Lionsgate. If there's something that you really want, it's the 8th of the 8th, or it could be the early hours of the morning, I've got no idea. Yeah. Anyway, it's the most auspicious time in the year to ask the universe for something that you really want, something big, okay? Love, career, health, whatever it is, something you really want for yourself or another, something you've been working on. You need a little bit of a little bit of good luck. You need some sort of shift, positive turn, progress, something to get you remotivated, something to make you believe again, something to just, you know what I mean? It's like you're trying to fly a kite. If there's no bloody wind, at that moment the kite's flopping. You could have made a perfect kite, but when you get a big gust of wind, you know, that kite goes up perfectly. So we just need a little bit of luck from the universe, don't we? So say out loud what it is that you want now. You're not allowed to say you want a particular person. You can't say their name, but you can say, I want a person with these qualities. So if you love that person because they were super reliable, you could depend on them. They were traditionally treated you really nice. You knew it was going to be forever. Ask for that. Say, I want someone who's really traditional, super dependable. We're a little team, and yeah, can rely on them and whatever. Ask for a workplace that's super supportive. You know, a boss that, you know, hypes you up, is patient with you, pours like, you know, into you through courses, invests in you, sees you like growing in the future, trusts that, you know, they'll get the payback or whatever. If you got someone that you love that's, you know, suffering with something chronic and you just want them to be more comfortable because they're having a bad few months or whatever days they got left, you just want them to be more comfortable. Okay, ask for what you want, it's your wish, but this is the time to do it. So even if you come into this the day after, a few days after Lionsgate, it doesn't matter. You can manifest any day of the year. It's just that because of certain alignments, certain planetary and star alignments, now is a very good time to do it. The universe is very receptive to what you want. Of course, whenever you see 11:11, because you happen to have glanced at the clock and it's just there, and in that moment, the universe is throwing you a bone, you in particular. So this is not your only chance, but this is where anyone can say, I want this, I want that. Angels, please give me this, universe, however you want to word it. Okay, but you can't force a particular person to be with you. We don't do that. That's black magic, and that's gonna get you more trouble than it's worth. We're not controlling people, we're letting people come towards us who want to come towards us. Relationship and friendship a choice. Take care, Pisces. Thank you very much for hanging on in there. Go and check out the career, education and finance readings if you didn't already. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.